I am really hoping that you're not picking up like the television or anything else. I really hope that the mic is working as planned. But yeah, going down. Welcome to the Project Pile. My name is Gunhildur. I'm in Iceland, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, vlog, chat type of thing. It's been years and I still don't know what to call this thing. Called a project pile because I have projects and they are in piles. I prefer to talk about yarn, about knitting, crocheting, because I do both. And let me tell you, I am so grateful that I learned to do both, because switching between the two of them is just... Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, I also talk quite a bit about the weather because... stereotypical Icelander, I just love talking about the weather. And also because throughout the years it has greatly affected the things that I can do. I love telling the story about how before our internet connection was actually upgraded. I'm sorry, my smartwatch keeps going off with the same notifications. It just cycles through the same again and again and again. It's so weird. Anyway, not here to talk about my... See, here's another thing. Every single electronic around me has been weird for the past days. Like, acting up. The cash registers at work. My computer has behaved so far, but my cell phone, or my smartphone, and my smartwatch... Anyway, I was talking about the weather. Because before you rudely interrupted me, thank you, before our internet connection was updated like a year or two ago, my record of how long it takes Gunhildur to update a video to YouTube, and it wasn't even 10 minutes long, was about 48 hours, I believe. It took me an insane amount, and still didn't. Can't remember which video it was, but I still didn't, and it sucked. But now it takes me like less than 10 minutes if it's a big one. And the internet's like maybe acting up a little bit. It still takes less than 10 minutes. I'm like, way less. Often, most of the time, less than 5 minutes. Anywho, I also talk about, because I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, I talk about our talk about my country and the geological activities that Iceland really loves to show off. Mainly because last year there was a deluge of false information in regards to volcanic activity and how it actually affects, the entirety of Iceland. Like, it's currently calm. There are currently... The only activity is my smartwatch being smarty pants. Yeah, but here currently there isn't any volcanic activity. There's still like a little bubbly might go off around Grindavík, as it has been for the past year. But if you picture Iceland, then the location of the eruption is like it's like a purled stitch where you should have a straight stitch in a sweater. That's maybe a little bit too much. Speaking of, actually, I have hands on. So this is my Lopapeysa, my Draumur that I'm still working on. I'm actually at the point where I'm reaching the decreases here in the neck. I mean, look at the development here. These are fine. These are like puckered as nothing else. But I think it's here. If we use the sweater as being like Iceland, right? Then the volcanic activity that has been, you know, making rounds as Iceland is under threat of going all under lava, la la la. That's pretty much like me doing a slight mistake this part of the pattern. You don't notice it because it's a tiny little itty bitty part of the whole. It really annoyed me. Like, I did not know until at that point just how annoyed I could get at someone just presenting misinformation. Not just because they didn't know any better, but because this individual just wanted the clicks and the views and the money, basically. So that annoyed me. And I'm still not over it. I'm sorry. So yeah, the elephant in the room is not my dislike for false information, because if you watched, well, if you've been with me for the past year, you know how I really dislike it. It's my new haircut. I think that my hairdresser did a fantastic job. Like, first of all, I haven't had this short of hair for years. I think it's been like, oh, I don't want to guess. It's been many years. But I have not had this dark of a hair possibly ever in my life. And I am really, really loving it. I did go in, with the intention of getting red hair. And there is like a nice coppery like tone to it. It's definitely turned out darker than I anticipated, but I'm so in love with the handiwork that she did. Like, she only put in a gorgeously. She can mix up such a gorgeous color. So she only put in a single color wash, and my hair just decided that, you know what? We're gonna be colorful. I really love this. I've literally been like this to myself for the past, like, I went on Wednesday morning for my haircut and my color, and I've literally just been playing with my hair since. And for context, the amount of hair that she took off for me, I think it was around half a kilo. So that was a bit of a weight off my head. I really love it. She did such a good job. But yeah, so like I said, I showed you, I've done a bit of progress on my sweater. It is coming along. I'm still wondering, so we still have, one place or the other. So Knit Nights is where I've been bringing my project for the past way too long, because it's really nice. Like, this is not a difficult pattern to follow. Like, it's really, really easy. Even the pattern up front. I mean, okay, in my defense, this is the first time I've done a yoke. Is that what you call it? Like, in such a long time, like literal pattern. And so in my defense, I know it's terribly puckered, but this is looking better. This is the first kind of a project I do like this for years. I don't want to even think about how many years it's been since I've done something like this. It's been long. So I'm very pleased with my first project because of this magnitude for a long, long time, because it's been a long, long time. But yeah, so for the past, well, I did miss out on the first 2 weeks because of COVID. But for like the past 2 times that I've been able to attend, I've been at the hotel, the weekly Knit Nights that I attend. And next week we're gonna be at the hotel as well, but we should be able to go to the coffee shop, the second week of October, and I am You know, it's nice being at the hotel. There's a very nice area that we were basically allowed to take over. Um, but I am a creature of habit, and I really, really want to get back to my want to get back to my space. But I should hopefully be able to. You know, I really think that I'm gonna bring this with me to the next knit night, because having, you know, like I said before, having more experienced knitters at hand when I'm doing things has been such a help. Like, the encouragement that I've gotten with this, they've been so nice to me, because like they've, you know, like they said, you're doing this for the first time for a very, very, very long time, so you're doing really well. So I'm like, it's been a really good week for my ego. It's a good week for my ego. Another thing, so because you know, last week I placed an order with Hobbii for the Advent calendar, I actually have it. Like, it arrived at my post box this Friday. Like, it was so quick, but I don't have it at home because honestly, I was dog tired on Friday. I was like, didn't have a ride home. Like, this is such a thing, but I have a bit of a walk when I go home, and most often I do have a ride, but my ride had to go and pick up her granddaughter, and I'm like, I need to walk anyway. The weather was so nice, and because I know it's also safe for me to leave my stuff at work, I'm like, there isn't any hurry because I can't open them anyway until the Advent starts. I'm thinking it starts in, I need to figure that out when Advent starts. Another thing is that it's also nice to not have it in front of me the entire time, because it's gonna be in front of me for like 2 months about before I'm able to like get my claws into them. To say that I'm excited about the Advent calendar, like, I feel like a child. I am so thankful that I discovered the Hobbii Advent calendar, because I'm like, I have a lot of fun opening them, and even though I'm not the most diligent about doing the projects themselves, I'm trying to remember. Like, I've done that red hat. I think was it last year or the year before that. Absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I love using it. I started on one of the last year's shawls. Yeah, I need to finish that. And because it's, you know, it's nice, it's fairly simple, and no, it's a kerchief. Yeah, that's right. And you know, but there's a lot of other projects that I haven't even started on. So I am really, really proud about the fact that I actually started on one of the knitting projects from last year. I just realized that I've always started on the knitting project, not the crochet projects. Haven't I? I don't think I have. Well, I will be doing my best to get working on those, because one of the goals, my never-ending goals, is to actually, you know, finish up some of the projects that have been waiting. I mean, I have them in piles and I just keep adding to them, this included. So this is from last year's Advent calendar. It's a lovely little project bag made with panettone. I think it's like something like an metallic dessert. I don't know. But the yarn is this gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, shimmery thingy magic. It's 87% cotton, 7% polyamide, and 6% metallic fiber. Here is the label, if you like, and the other side, if you like that as well. So yeah, so obviously this is one of the free patterns on Hobbii. That's one of the reasons that I really like them. Not just because the Danish and the ship to Iceland, but also because they have such a collection of free patterns. The only thing you need to do is to like make an account, and then you get so many free patterns. I'm like, well, so this is, oh, it looks so good. It looks so good in the moderator. Or, you know, the moderator. No, the viewfinder. Anyway, it looks good. I did leave a long tail because I was hoping that it would be enough for me to sew up the bottom, because this is the bottom part. Now I'm not so sure that I left enough of a tail. We'll see. I decided to try and leave a long tail so I wouldn't need to like weave in too many ends. So what I'm at the point where I've done the knitting of the body itself. Now I need to split the I need to English just went out the window. I need to separate the stitches into 2 equal parts, and then do basically like the flip to make the drawstring. I got there in the end. So I'm very close to being done with this. Just need to do the basic ends. So that will be one project of, I'm not going to tell you how many, that I will be finished with. Now, of course, I can't remember why exactly it was that I went on Hobbii last weekend, because I've been very good about not going and, you know, tempting myself to buy yarn that I do not need. Like, the Advent calendar is my one yearly exception, unless of course, you know, I managed to find some other exception, but meh. But I am glad that I did, because that means that I have the Advent calendars, both of them, in a very timely manner, so I don't need to worry about that. But they also have their Halloween sale right now, and I got one of the project bags because it was just too cute. Look at it! How adorable is that? And also, because it's the season, I got Halloween themed stitch markers. I have Christmas themed ones, so obviously I needed these. I needed them. And surprise, surprise, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm like, because honestly, when you are working on any kind of like knitting, crochet kind of project, you are always going to be in want of a stitch marker. I really want to say that it should be surprising. It's not. I was well aware of it, but also exploring and finding out what kind of a stitch marker you prefer to use. Like, I have a large collection of these like plastic ones. Not the biggest fan of them, because I have broken a fair few of them in my time. I do really like these ones that have like cute little pictures. I really prefer, because they're really useful and they don't really get in the way. The ones that I got, I think last year, in last year's Advent calendar. Oh, these ones. They're handy, they're comfortable, they're sometimes a little too easy to lose in a project, so you need to go over your project like 5 or 6 or 7 times to make sure that you haven't left a stitch marker behind. There's always something falling around me. And yeah, so, and also another thing, so technically speaking, I'm not buying more yarn. I do know that I am about to be gifted some more yarn, so that's going to be adding to my stash a bit more, but I'm not buying it. So that's and actually it's from my oldest sister, so she has been tidying up her own stash. So she put in a picture in our like private conversation. Like, I have one with my sisters, and she has quite a collection of this type of lope. It's einband, this same type that I'm working with in my sweater. So einband is this like lace type of Icelandic wool. So it's very fine, and you know, it's Icelandic wool, so it's a little, when you're working with it, and to begin with, it's a bit on the rough side, but when you wash it, it's going to be so nice. And oh, actually, I was gonna check this, because the skeins, is it skein? I think it's skein. Anyway, the little, what's that you buy? I'm so a little awkward today. What was I talking about? Now I managed to distract myself, because I was thinking about the yarn that my sister is, you know, generously giving me, because I actually saw that picture, and she had several colors, because she's a big knitter. She's way bigger of a knitter than I am, and I saw this basically a pile of this gorgeous deep red color, and I'm like, oh, that's such a gorgeous color, and she's spoiling me, like, she's spoiling me. So, ooh, actually, yeah, ooh. Okay, so a single skein of this is 50 grams, and that's about 1.75 ounces. It is about 250 meters or 273 yards, and she told me that the weight of the yarn that she has, that she's going to be sending me, is somewhere between, I think, 700 and 750. That's a lot of yarn. I might actually have a fairly decent plan for that. I'll see about when I get it, because einband, I like working with it. Like, I'm working with it in single here, so it's like this, hey, you can see my hand. So it's a nice, very simple, very thin layer, but it's warm enough, like as an extra layer in Icelandic summertime, or, you know, maybe like spring or fall in other more decent-minded countries where it didn't snow in the past days. You know, I would take a picture outside my window right now if it wasn't actually foggy. Should have taken a picture this morning, because then I could have shown you the mountains around, because they are wearing white. But it's like, it's the first snow of the season, so it's like, it did snow a little bit on, was it Thursday or was it Friday? Friday. Yep, Friday was a bit annoying. But it's this like teeny tiny snowflakes that were like fine misty rain. If it had been warm, it would have fallen as mist, but it didn't stick, it didn't stay, and it made the kids really happy to see it. I'm like, the adult dilemma. Am I an adult and get like, ugh, snow? Or do I keep a cheerful face for the children and be like, yeah, it's snowing? Kind of like the later better. Because the kids were so happy to see the snow. It was so cute. Like, they were, when I was going to work on Friday morning, one kid who usually does not like stop me or anything, he was walking with his mom. They were going to kindergarten, and he actually, I think they're going to kindergarten. It's relevant, but he stops me to let me know that it's snowing. I'm like, yeah, it is. You can't be a grouch when you see such an excited face. And all through the day, when the kids were coming to the store with their parents and their families, they were like, and I'm like, I can't be a grouchy adult today. Like, I need to reschedule that. But yeah, so the sweater is coming along nicely. I think, yeah, I'm probably gonna bring it with me for Thursday as well again. Because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the brain cells otherwise to be working on it at home. Yeah, it's going back into the bag. Because what I want to be working on at home, because it's easy enough, is a bag. So, because it's gonna be really cute. And then I just need to Google like how you do. It's a whip stitch and then some other type of stitch that I need to be doing. And you know, that's what Google is for. That's what the internet is for. So, yeah. Hopefully this will be done next weekend as well. So hopefully I will have 2 projects to show off. That would be fun. And then we'll see what other project I will be working on. This scarf. Listen, I'm still a little bit miffed that lovely yarn that I got. I mean, the first skein out of 5, I think it had like what, 1 or 2 knots, and the second skein had somewhere around 12. And that was enough for me to put the project to the side, and every single time I look at it, I'm like, ugh. Too many knots is just a bother. So is that what I want to be? I think that's the name, yeah. So no more ruffling around. I am very happy with my haircut and the new hair color. I am very proud of myself for starting working on the past Advent calendar projects, because then I feel a little bit more justified for getting a new one. I mean, I still got it. I haven't finished a single project, but I still have the Advent calendars. And yeah. Yep, I think that's been a fairly productive weekend. So I will hopefully catch you again next weekend. Thank you very much for sticking with me this time around. And I'll hopefully see you again next weekend. So until then, take care. Bless.